Got ourselves is going to be insane first up. Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm looking at the full set, I like the fist weapons you got going on. Ooh, a bit of a rematch between you and Leo too. I like seeing this as well. I like that. I like the whole Legion attire. I'm not a big fan of the Legion helm. There's also another Legion PvP set that I really like. Another one. Not this one specifically. This one is alright. No, the Elite set for PvP actually on this set looked insane. Never mind. I'm thinking of a specific recolor version. But it looks so good. The blue and black. Oh, it looks so sexy. Disarm onto Leo. Try to see if he can escape the rogue. The rogue's got some damage though. Big breath with a stun onto insane. He doesn't have a defensive vanishes that are available. It looks like he's just gonna back up out of this as soon as possible before grip connects. If he can just avoid all those riders from a distance, then he doesn't have to take any of that burst damage and potentially just outplay Leo. Saps him as he's getting up close and personal. Blind is available in case he needs it. He just gotta get himself a proper good opener, get a couple of procs. He's gonna go for the big grapples. That's going to be a grip. Second grapple right after is going to get Yoink back in. Try to see if he can potentially hold his own here. AMS up for Leo. Does have a death back in case he needs to. Blind for a reset. And the rogue, unless you go in for like some kind of stun lock, is going to be a trinket out for Leo. Does look like Leo is playing it a little bit more defensively. He doesn't really have a lot of damage to follow up. I think he's waiting for that Pillar of Frost, which potentially could be huge. Disarm on that burst, unfortunately, though. Insane does not have an out, however. Maybe a Gao should just walk away. Nope, grapple in. Oh, pulled him back in and just broke his back with that obliterate. My goodness. Holy moly. That is some burst right there. Yeah, you gotta love it, man. What's up, Soldier? How you doing, man? Hope you have a good one. Is there a slot I want to teach? Yo, Void. We'll probably get a slot here in a game or two, maybe. It depends. Usually we get to rotate people out pretty regularly, man. We try to rotate, especially fresh faces, fresh bodies that haven't played today, as much as possible. What we could actually do for Leo and Rick is every few games they'll just completely reset, pick up 2 new faces and faces are played, and then fill out the group if it's taken too long or whatever, right? This way we can rotate people more regularly. Stun onto Shakira. Does not have an answer. Big kick though. Oh, with a forward brew lifted, did not need the karma. He believed that no need for karma is necessary there at all. It's going to be Elo with a haunt, but oh no! Is that connect? Does that connect? No, it doesn't connect. No doubt on him. Man. For some reason, I thought the haunt would actually just overpower a... I thought a hunt would overpower Ring of Peace for some reason. I thought that was going to connect. And that's why I was like, wait a second. It doesn't? That's why I reacted the way I did. I was pretty sure that the haunt is like a strong, like a giga version of a charge. Like almost nothing stops it unless you like hard CC it. And I didn't, for some reason my brain thought Ring of Peace would not be the hard CC. Freezing trap, stun, yes. Ring, it kind of pushes you away. Flying up in air, trying to see if you can do barrage down on Shakira. Is it going to be another Lances? Oh, catch you so low. I feel if I should be just barely enough to get you up and running. But still, Ring of Peace keeping the Demon Hunter at bay. You're still not in a great situation. Elo can still take it. One stun lock combo onto Shakira, and there might be in a real world of hurt. There goes the stun. Trinket is available. Karma to reverse it. May just go hyper aggressive with that Karma. Slice and wins. Elo just continuing to press on though. Immunity can still come out. No immune, unfortunately. Oh, if they only went for the full immune nether ward. I feel like that might have been enough. Nether ward, imprison Shakira, wait for the Karma to fall up, and then do some damage. I think that would have been enough, honestly. But apparently not. Close though. Cheap shot Viridiar, but for Shakira, there's nowhere to go. Lex swept. The Smirska not burning a trick for this one. Celestial Brew. Then it's going to be some shields up for Shakira, though. Needs a little bit of healing. Eyes are available. Try to see if he can stay on top of the rogue. May just want to pick up eyes as soon as possible and catch up as much health as you can. Unless you can predict where the rogue is going to be. Next cheap shot lockdown. You are in Nordic, so you're not going to set the stone for too long. Incap used to come out now. Cap needed to come out yesterday, but does go down, unfortunately. With the rate going to be up next, immediately sending the pet to spin on top of this Mushka. Does go for the gouge. Lockdown with a quick fear right after. And has got himself Dreadstalkers, Tyrant, everything available. This Mushka with a quick vanish reset. Killspree took him to have. Awesome. Dude, Killspree actually did a lot of damage, honestly. That button hits hard now. Really good. That was crazy double burst. Yeah, the fact that Death's gonna stack up for like that Giga Obliterate is kind of nuts. It is very strong. Smoke bomb for a second. Just try to escape the pets. Avoiding it as best as possible. pets do reconnect for this. Mershka is going to be a bit of a tougher matchup here. I guess a Warlock in general, I think it is a tougher matchup for Rogue. What is your attire? What are these shoulders? It's like Kultiran garb gun going on. I like the hoodie, but I'm not sure about them. Maybe you were just trying to go for like gray shoulders, but a padded shoulders. If that's what you're trying to go for, I don't hate it. I just don't really like the shoulders in general. They almost look like leather shoulders. Doesn't even look like a cloth piece. You know what I mean? The Smirshka with a DFA leaping in, gateway out. As Rick is going to go to another zip code entirely. The Smirshka is still just stuck behind the pillar with that Felguard, constantly attacking you. At this point, I would just turn the attention onto Felguard, or at least keep a rupture on that thing so eventually it will die. But the fact is, Rick can just keep sending pats at you internally, just constantly. Summoning up a big old Tyrant. He no longer has the Seer set to summon up a big Demon Doggo, but he's going to extend that Tyrant and the Gloom Hound. And keep him on you as best as possible. Stab with a board trade as two of them swap positions. Cloak of Shadows with advantage out for the Smirshka. I honestly think it's an opportunity for him to escape, but instead he's just going to stay on top of Rick as much as possible. Quick Fear does have a trinket. DFA to catch up to him really quickly, literally phasing through the wall, through the massive pillar of one of the Egyptian looking gods. I'm pretty sure they're not really Egyptian gods. Hold on, is this Anubis? Is this Anubis? No, yeah, it is Anubis. It is Anubis. It is Anubis. I wanted to... Can I just do this? I could have just done that the entire time, bro. I'm just trying to zoom out to see that snout. This is going to be the Smirshka catch himself a quick reset behind the pillar. Gloomhound still trying to see if he can get around the angle. That is going to be a sap onto the eye. The pet somehow no? The pet's literally walking in his direction. Either it's just completely random or whatnot. I have no idea. This is going to be a Felguard picking him up, catching him. Eyes are picked up. Gloomhound is in play. Potentially a Tyrant too. It is going to go for a Tyrant. Ideally, he'd want to send Doggos too. Dreadstalkers into immediate gateway escape and stab, but it doesn't pick up to Rick. And I think it's just going to be over. Even Rick knows he just got to stay away. Rick knows he just wins this. He just got to stay away. Just got to stay away. And the Rogue will eventually melt. Just got to give it a second. Except against Saya, I don't know if he'll be able to stay away in the same way. He's going to be blessing a spell warden immediately. Rick with a reflect for another ward. Even if Saya was going to go for a Hodge, it would just be reflected back. But I'm pretty sure he held his stun. I'm sure he's going to have one right around the corner, right? Fear by Rick, just try to see if he can avoid it. Dark back to trade with that Dawn Light damage. It is a very short cooldown though, so you might as well trade. And now that he's got Sayak at a distance, that's an opportunity for you to build up some damage, to build some pets, and to go down a couple of times, and you're good to go. Got yourself an Overlord jumping in. There goes a stun, trinket to follow. Saya's taking a little bit of damage. Stun on all those pets. Dawnlight onto Rick. Does go for a quick sever of that soul onto Saya. So he's making sure to have some kind of either defensive or a debuff on Saya every time he's got himself the Wake of Ashes wings go. Gloomhound on top of it. Fear spam to follow, just locking down Saya. No more trinkets. Only thing he's got is Lay on Hands of Bubble to get him stabilized here. But oh, Bubble immediately! That was some burst out of nowhere though. Axe toss, huge burst. Ain't no way Saya was gonna trust a Lay on Hands. And that's still a full army of pets. He's gonna go for Wake of Ashes to stun him. Got himself a bit of healing. He needs to buy himself enough time in order to get himself a proper heal. Wall may need to come out for Rick here. He's taking a lot of damage. Wall with the Dark Pact. Yeah, he's trying to buy himself time for that Lay on Hands. He has to. Dreadstalkers are in. Got him to reflect in case Saya's going to go for a stun. Saya with Blessing of Sake. That Fear is not going to sit long at all though. Second Fear into another stun. Gloomhound. All the pets are in. Saya, if you have the answer here, if you have the kill now, you would have to make it happen. Gateway potentially might be available for Rick though. Does have the gateway. He's out in the safety. Can he slow down Saya? He needs an Axe Toss or something. Does the Axe Toss come through? He's got himself Wake of Ashes. Wants to see if he can end the duel. Rick does have a adaptation, so next Hodge you can potentially get out of it easily. He does have a Fear. Stun, breaks out of it insta. Fear onto Saya. Do you have the damage to follow up? You got yourself a Tyrant very, very soon. Fear spam onto Saya. All the pets are in. A Tyrant is in play. Tyrant is going to be in play. I think it's over for Saya even before the Tyrant comes out. Yeah, with an Axe Toss, he secured himself that victory. There's just no way to defeat that. Holy, adaptation ended up walking in clutch here. Working out super well for Rick because it gave him an out for that gave him an easy guaranteed out for that Hodge. Like that was what was gonna kill him, and that adaptation was there to stop it. So adaptation may actually have been a perfect play there. Actually perfection. And PI out for Guerrero, just trying to see if he can catch up to Rick. However, this loads from the pets. as well as the Curse of Exhaustion. Praise just does not have the mobility, and Rick just has that glide as a Drakthir. Honestly, I feel like a lot of casters should potentially be considering Drakthir as a racial, even in PvP. I know you probably are like, you know what, I kind of like Orc. Undead is also can be good at times. Night Elf is also really good if you play in Alliance, right? Don't disagree with you. But that glide, man, look at the mobility. What is the current song? I can give you guys the mix, and that should give you the song that I'm currently listening to right now. Here we go. I try to update my mix as best as I can, but you can just add that if you want to. Save it to your YouTube or whatever. It's going to be Soul Cleaved out of his body as Goer's locked down back to back and not in a great position. Just fear spam over and over with the disperse. This is a moment of desperation. Needs to close the gap to get some kind of damage back onto Rick. Rick does not have another word for a while. Stun could be a perfect way to lock him down. Dark Pact is going to keep him alive, however. Trying to get some damage going. Faded for a second, but surrounded by so many demons. That Doomguard doing a number with a Pit Lord. Oh, not a Pit Lord. Tyrant vamping up all those other pets. Pets stuck on a route around the corner. He knows he can't go back to the pets, but he can't go walking back into Rick, because otherwise he just might be lights here. It's going to be yet another fear. Unless you have a way to lock down Rick right now and burst him. Stun, it's over. It is over. I don't even know why Rick ported. I think maybe he was just trying to port. This is just extra global. Just said something. But he definitely would. Like, if Goer's was still alive there, you were basically porting into his line of sight. That's why I'm like, wait, was that 4 BM? Or was that like... what? Let's get another one going, boys, yeah?